everybody. Robin here at Toadstool Tarot. Welcome back, or welcome if you're here for the first time. And let me see who's here. Marilyn's Tarot Take. First one in, hello, followed by Will's Tarot Path. Then we have SRAI. I don't know this person, I don't think, but welcome. Okay, everybody's here so far, or at least a few people are here, and more will be bumbling in. Okay, what I'm doing, easy content, in some ways easy content, in some ways more difficult. I'm doing a deck clear out of my collection. I had accumulated upwards of 180 decks when I stopped counting, and they've overrun my shelves and started to take over my bed on several tiered trays. So I'm needing to find or I want my real estate back. So I'm going to my shelves and clearing out decks that I no longer use so that I can shift some of the ones I do use back onto the shelves and make space on my bed, which I think is a good thing. Now, it's a little bit tricky about how I'm going to get rid of these decks. This content is just to show you what I'm getting rid of and why. And that's sometimes good to sort of assess the value of a deck, value not to someone else, but value to you in your collection and whether you use it or not. If anybody's interested in any of these, get in touch with me, robinleecrutchfield@gmail.com, and we'll work something out. I am reluctant to ship outside the U.S. Inside the U.S., and if you're okay with dealing with PayPal, I can do it because I like these little flat rate boxes, and there's a drop-off station around the corner, and it's relatively convenient to put it in a box, slap an address on it, drop it off there. The rates have gone up for flat rate. I think it used to be $10.70 or something, and now it's $11.70, something like that. So near $12 for flat rate. And I just discovered recently that the box says it's good for both domestic and foreign, but I have a feeling even the woman at the counter didn't seem to know if it was the same rate or different rate. She assumed that even though it says flat rate, which to me says it would be a flat rate regardless of what's in the box, that flat rate for domestic is a different price than flat rate for foreign. The other problem with the foreign ones is I also have to fill out custom forms, and that's just a pain in the ass, an extra step I don't want. So far I've only sold one deck to Zach, who was gimme, you know, he really wanted it, and that worked out fine. At some point when I'm done my clear out, I may go back and do a review of the decks that haven't yet sold, just as a kind of a list and reminder if anybody's still interested in any of those. And if not, then I'm not sure how I'm going to dispose of them. But the main issue is getting them off my shelves and getting them to other people that would like to use them. So we're going to start. Let me just double check to see if anybody else popped in. Raven Tarot Meditation, hello, welcome. And Aldermoon, hello. So, after I did my Open Face Tarot Majors Only deck, I was pushed by people to do a complete 78 card deck. And I thought, oh, I don't know if I can do it. 78 illustrations. And then people said, well, just do a pip deck. It'll be a lot easier than coming up with 78 art designs or whatever. And I thought about it, and I thought, well, maybe if I use the tools on my laptop, such as they are, And if I do a pip deck with cut, copy, and paste, I can arrange the pips in such a way that it might not be as daunting to complete 78 as all that. So while it took me a 4-hour afternoon of doodling to get my majors deck done, I think it took me about a week to do the 78 card deck. And I used, I have an Apple, a MacBook or whatever. And on there's a program called Pages. And in Pages, it allows you to create geometric shapes. There's like a little bank of geometric shapes that you can resize, reshape, and add colors to. So what I basically did was collage geometric images and stack them up. And when I created my deck the first time, I'm kind of making a short story long-winded. I know, that's me. I ended up, this is the prototype for my first deck. I had it in a tin on makeplayingcards.com. It was called the Eyes Wide Tarot. I was going to call it the Googly Eyes Tarot, and somebody told me that's politically incorrect. And I tried to research that, and I didn't see any such thing. But anyway, Eyes Wide seemed better. The first one I said was Open Face. This is kind of a logical progression. I don't know what it is. I seem to have this obsession with big eyes. And so Eyes Wide is very similar to Open Face in terms of like being in awe of tarot, I guess. So anyway, I'm not totally happy with this deck. But again, like this one was sort of a step further from me saying, oh, everybody should create a deck, to people saying, oh, I'm not artistically talented, I can't do it. Well, I was trying to show you don't have to be artistically talented because there are tools there that you can play with. So what I did was I chose my own color palette from the colors that were available. And basically, a lot of it doesn't have so much to do with artistic talent as editing choices and thinking and planning things out. Now, when it came to the pips, what I wanted to do was take the sort of visual idea of the pip aspect in the Rider-Waite-Smith system and apply it as if they were scenes to the pips, if that makes sense. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Okay, Six of Wands, for instance. Okay, this is my Six of Wands, and it was kind of meant to be a sort of like a march across the page of 6 wands. This may be not the most successful. This one's obvious, the 8 of Wands. Okay, you can see how it mirrors the Rider-Waite-Smith 8 of Wands. Now, when I did here, the 10 of Swords, okay? So we don't have a body filled with swords, but we have a reclining sword with a lot of swords stabbing downward. So I think you get the idea of what I was trying to do. And I don't know if you can see, these are little squashed circles or ovals and diamond shapes sort of squashed out to make the swords. As to the wands, they were round-ended sort of rectangles, and the leaves that I put on them probably won't show, but they're little speech bubbles. Now the problem here is in my prototype, when I went and ordered it and they showed up, they were kind of pixelated. And I don't know how well that shows up on the screen. It's just a little bit pixelated, enough that it bothered me and I wanted them sharper. And so I asked a friend of mine if there was a better way for me to get these sort of more vectorized. And she kind of helped and sort of talked me through figuring it out. So I changed it. But what happened was while I had to reformat, resize the orientation of my graphics to fit the cards so they wouldn't be pixelated. When I did that, for some reason, the speech bubbles didn't really work. So I had to change the speech bubbles to some other leaf, and I ended up picking triangles for leaves. So in the final version, it's the same card, but it's like, that's the difference. And the reason I'm showing you this is because I'm getting rid of decks. I was going to toss the prototype, but because it's my deck and I don't know that anybody would want it anyway, and that it does sort of change, that I think I'm going to hang on to it, just, as a reference, something to reflect back on with my issues in creating this deck. And I don't know if you can see, probably not with my camera, but this earlier prototype is pixelated. This one is sharp. So there you go. So that's my explanation about that. So I am going to, well, obviously, even though I'm not thrilled with it, I don't know if I showed you, some of the court cards and figures are more like stick figures. So even though they're not particularly artistically wonderful, it shows that anybody can do this. You just, shift a line, a circle, an oval, a pentagon, or whatever, resize them, shift them around, add color to them, layer them, and you can kind of collage your own deck just with a simple program like Pages on an Apple computer. So there you go. Mini tutorial. So yeah, I'm not that crazy about this deck. The colors are really nice. I like the color palette I chose. There's some really, really pretty colors in here. I don't know if you can see. So I've got pinks and purples and kind of blues and tans and salmon colors and olive greens, I like the colors, but I don't generally push this deck on anybody. I'm just not totally happy with it. And the people that wanted a pip deck out of it, I didn't buy, so I don't think they were happy with it either. But I think as a kind of a do-it-yourself lesson, maybe it was successful in showing other people that they could, without too much difficulty, create their own deck and, have it printed up on MPC. So I'm going to hold on to that. Let me just double check and see if anybody popped in. I like the background colors. It's going all the way to the edge. I go back and forth about color borders. Tiger's Abyss. Hi, Zach. How many decks have we gone through so far? Oh, this is the first one. We're 13 minutes in. I'm going to get rid of about 7 today, and I think I have maybe 20 to go through here. What weight of cardstock? I don't know. It's their generic. I think might be they're something standard 30, whatever the stock is. I don't know. I'm not real particular about cardstock because I don't like it. I prefer it on the thin side rather than the thick cardstock that people are using these days. I mean, I could show you the thickness of the deck if that's any indicator of the weight of the cardstock. It's, kind of an average thickness deck, and I ordered a tin for it, and so it fits in the tin. I don't know I think if you order the thicker stock, it might not fit in a tin if you order a tin. This looks to me like there might be room for maybe, unless you put a book in it. I don't even know if a thick book wouldn't fit probably. Looks like there might be room for 10 to 13 additional cards in a tin like that. But they do have other kinds of packaging boxes, and, you can create your own or work stuff out. I'm really not so much about that thick cardstock. I was playing around with MPC yesterday. Any advice about getting image into bleed lines? Well, that's the tricky thing. My first deck was just images floating in space. So they were borderless cards, but I made sure there was plenty of room around the edge that I didn't have to worry with bleeds, because it was my first attempt. And I thought, I don't want them to come off wrong, or I don't want them to come off needing the exact amount of around the edge. They do have a kind of a little like dotted guideline on their what's it called? Not palette, not portrait. Their format thing that you fit the images in. I found out through working with them, though, the best thing to do is to get at least the free version, if not the payable version, of Canva, and do your images in there, and then export those images to a file, and then they'll fit in the what's the word I'm looking for? Palette, patent, portrait, template. Template. I know how to P in there somewhere in a T. Okay. Yeah, their templates are kind of hard to work with. And I found a lot of the graphic images I had weren't sized right. And when I drag and drop it into the template, they were either too large or too small, and you couldn't like stretch them to fit. It didn't really work. But the thing is, if you take the actual measurements that are designated in the instructions of the template in MPC, and then go to Canva and then design a template there with that size, it is easier to resize stuff in Canva. So there you go. A little bit of advice. The wands remind me of power lines. Yeah. The text font is cool. Power lines, nice reference for wands. Thanks, I didn't see that. Check out Anna Turian's channel. She has videos about uploading images on MPC. Good tip. Brienne, hello, Brienne. Template. Everybody's telling me template. That's the word I was looking for. Yes, love Canva. Canva rocks. Perfect. I didn't think about Canva first and then MPC. I'll try it. Thanks. Awesome. Perfect. Yes. Okay. Next deck. Next deck I have, this one I'm going to let go. I hate letting go of decks that are gifted to me, and this one was a gift. But I never use it unless I change my mind. It was sent to me in a canvas bag. I don't know if it came that way or if it just was, they just had a canvas bag. I think he found it at a flea market or something, and must have been there a while. It had a rubber band around it. And you know how when the elasticity goes out of rubber and it just kind of hardens up, it's like almost like wax or something. So unfortunately, I probably could have removed the rubber band when I got it, but I left it on there and it's kind of marred the box. And I don't know why this is in 2 pink boxes. The Kawaii Tarot. Anybody know this deck? A 78 card deck of Magic and Cute. Not sure why it was in 2 boxes. They seem to be playing card size or bridge card size. I'm not sure. I should probably get out my generic tarot card for size comparison. And I'll show you these cards. Also, I think just so I can see, even though I don't need the light for you, I need light for me to see the cards better. Oh, these are kind of these cards have kind of a sheen to them. They're not stark white. They're kind of an ivory white. And it's a palette I don't like. A lot of people like pastels. Okay, there's the size of the card. So that's a standard tarot card, and this is, I think it's like playing card size. Lots of people like pastels. I don't like them. What this reminds me of is Lucky Charms marshmallows. You know those that kind of, even the cutout kind of size and shape is like Lucky Charms. But and I like marshmallows okay. I'm not sure about marshmallows in cereal, but I'm not keen on this palette. So that's one. Does have a cuteness factor. This Kawaii Tarot. I don't know if any of you know it. Lollipop, stars, candy canes. What are they? Does it say? It doesn't even say. I guess you have to figure them out. I'm assuming those are wands. Oh, maybe not. Those might be wands. Oh, wait, hearts. Are those the cups? I don't know. Candy canes, lollipops. Oh, does this help me? No, not really. Page of Wands. So very simple kind of figures and faces. Knight of Wands. At least these are labeled. Queen of Wands. Very cute, very cute. It's kind of too cutesy for my taste. King of Wands. Ace. Oh, that's probably Pentacles. Okay, maybe we can do this by process of elimination. If that's Pentacles, what are the candy canes and what are the lollipops? I finally hit cups, so okay, they do have cups. So we ruled out cups. So we need to distinguish the swords from the wands. Some kind of interesting arrangements for a pip deck. Different kinds of cups. Some variety there. There's a pip deck and a cute deck. It's kind of nice. I don't know. I don't know why it's in two boxes. Let me see. Page of Pentacles. Nice King of Pentacles. Let me check the other box. Wonder if that, well, I'm guessing this was an independently produced one. Maybe that has something to do with why it's in two boxes. They had to split it in half because their printing company didn't have bigger boxes. Oh, and if it's playing card sizes, these are playing card size boxes. That probably explains it. Maybe the printing company didn't do tarot decks, and that's the way they had to do them. Okay, the Fool. Oh, okay. This might be fun for you to see the majors. The Magician. Okay, High Priestess, Empress, Emperor, Hierophant, Lovers, Chariot, Strength, Hermit, Wheel of Fortune, Justice. Nice simple symbols. Hanged Man. Oh, not sure about that one. Death. Temperance. 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 Shouldn't that be justice? The Devil. Death. It should be death. Tower. Star. Moon. Sun. Judgment. And World. So, I mean, we do have swords. Oh, so maybe the candy canes and the lollipops are all the same suit. Maybe those are all wands. Must be. Right? So anyway, that's that. That's the deck they use on Sugar Mountain among the Barkers and the Colored Balloons. Let me put these back in their boxes. So I don't know if this is out of print or if somebody's going to want it, but I never use it. And it's kind of not, I mean, it was very sweet of the friend to gift this to me, but it's just kind of, I'm getting rid of decks I don't use, and it's sat on the shelf for several years now and not been used. I did do a content walkthrough on my channel way back when. I don't think I was really much into pip decks at the time, which I probably could work with now, but it's tricky getting all these back in the boxes. Tuck boxes, right? Tuck box trouble. Okay. And there's no guidebook or anything. So, I mean, you have to know tarot. You're on your own. So anyway, that's the Kawaii tarot. Let's see if anybody else popped in. Let's see. Oh, Brienne can't stay. Hey, Simon. Listening in whilst eating dinner. Can't type much. That's okay. That's the deck that I mentioned that. I like the simplicity, but I like vivid color and lots of storybook picture art. Moomin Tarot, hello. I've come across a few type boxes I like, but can't think of the deck right now. Okay. So that one's going to go. All right. I should make sure I got my pile separate here. Now, here's a weird one. I found this one on Etsy, and I shared it with Simon, and he liked it too. We weren't quite clear on whether it was AI or not. And the creator claimed that it's not AI, but they used AI tools or something. I don't know. It has a nice kind of wallpaper kind of backing, and it's a pretty decent, fairly thick size, sort of stiffer matte card stock. It's all right card stock wise. It's not my favorite, but I like it because it has this kind of vintagey look to it. But some of the figures and some of the ideas are like a little bit odd. Like in this one, look, I don't know if it's just perspective, but like the leg in the back looks like a very tiny, skinny leg, not just perspective. It's just kind of odd and off. But when I first ordered it, and they actually come with, I think, a drawstring bag and in one of these magnetic boxes. But the first one I ordered, my friend Ben, previously a Beneficial Tarot, was interested, and he got a copy, and we did an on-air side-by-side walkthrough and compared it. And it was weird because some of my cards didn't match his cards, and I thought, what the heck, you know? And some of them confirm that it's an AI deck because I complained actually to the creator, and they apologized and said, oh, that was like an early prototype. We weren't finished with the editing. Sorry, you got that by mistake. And she sent me another copy. But look, for instance, this horse only has 3 legs, you know, definite AI thing. This 10 of swords, there's no swords in the guy's back. He's lying on the ground. This one, there's like this guy in the middle seems to have 3 arms. He's got 2 arms holding up swords and another one in with a pink band. I mean, it's just bizarre. It's weird. So anyway, I probably should discard this, but just because it's a weird AI anomaly and for the purposes of illustrating for content or whatever, I guess I'm going to hold on to it. Besides, who would want a deck like this that's weird? And this is not the kind of deck I don't think that is going to become collectible. It's not that popular. But I mean, if it did, you know, like collectors collect misprinted stamps and stamped coins and whatnot. I mean, in terms of tarot decks, maybe you've got a tarot deck that's got a weird fluke or flaw in it that makes it collectible for you. So anyway, I'm holding on to both of them. I'm holding on to my corrected version and the anomalous bizarro version. Next one. There's a couple here I'm not sure about. Let me go to some that I'm a little more sure about. This one is another weird one. It's like this one. Let's see what did I miss in content here? I got this one. I think there was some differences between yours and mine. Yeah, it is an odd deck, kind of like it though. Some creators are using AI instead of Photoshop, so the original art is real art, but they use the AI to adjust it instead of another digital manipulation. Like the magnetic flat boxes. What's your favorite type of tarot box? Actually, I like hefty two-part boxes that lift off, that have like some kind of thumb index so they don't stick, you can separate them easily. Those are my favorites. The magnetics are nice, but I still actually prefer lift off or lift top boxes. I remember this crazy AI. Okay. So this was a gift from a friend. It is the Tarocchi degli Nomi. It's, I guess, an Italian version, and it happens to be a majors only version. I think it might be called Tarot of the Gnomes or something. And she sent it to me, I think, for two reasons. One, because she knew I liked majors only decks, and the other reason because I, have sort of an obsession with elves, dwarves, gnomes, that kind of thing. Pretty sure this is Lo Scarabeo from 91, and it seems to be all in Italian. So I wonder if this was prior to Lo Scarabeo doing, if they only released Italian decks originally, or if they had English speaking or multiple language decks from the outset. I didn't know they were around as far back as 91. Anyway, this one you kind of either need to know Italian, or I guess you can kind of figure out from the well, here are the backs. The back is a, what do you call it, reversible image. And they're sort of comical, animated kind of images. It's I like gnomes, but this is another one that's almost too cute for me. I'm not generally drawn to the cute decks. The numbers are quite bold, even if you can't translate the titles. But I think they're all clear enough. I mean, obviously that's the Hanged Man. There's Death. So, I mean, it's pretty easy to tell what they are. So there you go. I don't know if that intrigues anybody or not. I expect most people are not majors only fans. They'll want it in English if it's in English, and they'll want the full 78 card deck, which this did evolve into. But I mean, if you're a collectible and you don't mind, or you prefer majors only, it's kind of nice. There's room in there, like, I don't know if that originally contained a guidebook. It didn't come with one to me, and I think she probably found it in a flea market or a online sale somewhere. So anyway, that one I'm going to let go just because I never use it. We're 135 already. I better get moving. Months ago, I bought the Dracula Tarot by Ricardo Delgado, and it came with 2 identical Three of Swords cards. So I used my Sharpie and drew an extra sword. Los Garabaos started in 1987. I have a beautiful book about its history. Moomin Tarot. I like gnomes. I have this on my wish list, but it's the English version, full 78 card deck. Okay. All right, the next one. I'm on the fence about this. This is Pike and Clover. Anybody know this? Again, it's number 3. Playing card size deck. It's kind of a combination of, I don't know, what is it? Is it Marseille? It's sort of like playing card and, well, it's a pip deck. Yeah, I won't say it's Marseille. It's a pip deck. The cardstock is linen, beautiful backs, playing card size. And here we have the Trickster, Harlequin, the Player, and then we've got a lot of playing cards. So I guess, depending on whether you can read a pip deck from playing cards, I actually don't know how many cards are in the deck. I don't want to pause to count them now, but it feels like the thickness of a playing card deck. So it's probably 52. So I'm not really sure about this. But anyway, if you have any interest in this, get in touch and I can do a card count for you or figure it out. But it looks to me like it's a pip or playing card deck with maybe a couple extra cards, not the full major arcana. It's pretty, and I was whimsically charmed by it when I first saw it. I think maybe Masha might have shown it to me, and I scrambled to get it. I'm pretty sure it's out of print now, and but I never use it. What is your favorite book on Marseille Tarot? I can't think of the name of it. I think it's by Yoav Bendoff, and I think I only have it on my phone as an ebook. So I can't remember the name of it, but it was easy to read, and I really enjoyed it. I do have a couple others, like Untold Tarot by can't remember who, but yeah. Anyway, I think that one's going to go. Let's see. Next one. Well, let's skip to a couple more that I'm pretty sure are going to go. I always like decks that use real artists' work, and Los Garabeo tends to use artists, but they redraw the stuff, or they try to mimic what an artist's work looked like. And the worst offender ever, I think, is their Hieronymus Bosch deck, which looks like somebody who looked at a Bosch deck and then kind of ran off on their own with the ideas. It doesn't look, they didn't copy his images or setups or arrangements. It's just like, it really horrified me. There are a couple others that I have that are very convincing. The Klimt deck, a Golden Klimt, and the Golden Botticelli are very convincing. I'm not sure how those were prepared. But anyway, I found a company in Spain called Kisses from Ibiza. And they do these decks using art, real artists' art, but I don't know. I mean, they were all dead artists, so I don't know what was involved in getting the images. But and I like the idea of the art cards. They're not my favorite choices, though, of art, and they're oversized cards. I don't like oversized, but okay. Here's one called The Voice of Space Tarot, and this is art by Rene Magritte. And they also don't come in boxes. They come in these little envelopes that kind of unfold and open up. So, I mean, that's kind of I'm not thrilled about that either. But, so, and this one I don't like. Those are the backs. I don't like text on the backs. But these are Magritte paintings. And so, I mean, there are a few things about this I like and a few things I don't like. I don't like the specific Magritte painting choices. They all have interpretations of the cards printed right on the card, so you can read them without knowing anything. But I don't like that. I don't like extra words on the cards. They are borderless, but the cards are oversized, which I don't like. But if you're obsessed with Magritte and you don't mind extra words and you don't mind oversized cards, you might like this. It is a majors only deck. And yeah, that kind of sums up how I feel about it. It's like, oh, if Lo Scarabeo or somebody had come along and taken Magritte's paintings and done borderless cards with the labels on them, maybe I would like that or love that. But the fact that they did use his actual art, but put them on oversized cards, did the majors only with the explanations on there. You know, it looks like there's several little information cards here, but so there you go. That is the Magritte one, where they don't even call it the Magritte Tarot. It's called The Voice of Space. So I'm gonna let that go. I know this isn't going to appeal to a lot of you because I don't know if anybody in the room is into majors only decks. So that's one. Another one I love, these are surrealists. I love the Giorgio de Chirico. And this one they're just calling the Surrealism Tarot, but it uses his art. And again, you know, the choice of images, some of them I like, some of them not so much. And again, there's print on the backs, which I'm not thrilled about. But I do love some of the paintings. I'm going as quickly as I can, and you can pause your camera when you watch back later if you need a better shot of any of these images. Sorry, I'm speeding through. I have a lot of decks to get to today in 15 minutes or a little more. So there you go, Giorgio de Chirico. If you like that kind of thing. Okay. I don't know how far I've gone there. I think I got them all. And I bought one more from them. I bought a third one. That one's going to go. Surrealism Tarot. I bought one more from them, and this one is because there have been so many Alice in Wonderland decks, but there's none of them use the John Tenniel illustrations, and this one does. But it's Tarot in Wonderland. The problem with this, again, oversized cards, majors only, not a problem for me. You know, print on the back of the cards. And also it looks like, here's a kind of a nice picture of Sir John Tenniel. there's a little statement about the Trump's cards, a major arcana. But again, it's got keywords and little quotes on the card. Like, okay, first card I'm going to show you is the High Priestess. There's a quote. Why sometimes I believed as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast. The keywords are intuitive, unconscious, inner voice. But what does that image have to do with the High Priestess? Nothing, as far as I can tell. I do like that they're on sort of a parchment paper looking card. They're kind of have a sort of a sheen to them. And I'm going to let this go because I found something I prefer, which is, I guess I should let you see all the images first quickly if this is something you're interested in. But it really, the images do not match the archetypes, I don't think. Like, let's see. This is the world card, and I would probably make it the Hierophant. Okay. This is the Fool. The Fool, I might have her stumbling down the rabbit hole rather than, or falling, rather than the end of the story. So, I mean, you're probably very familiar with these images if you know the book, but this just, I don't think this works really. The Empress, well, that one kind of fits. This is the Hierophant, it's the King of Hearts. The Devil, it looks more like the Tower. The Hanged Man, kind of interesting. Death. And the Cheshire Cat is the Star. So what I was going to say, what I found that I like better, I found in the UK online a curious deck of Alice playing cards, and these were fairly cheap. And these are playing cards using Tenniel's illustrations. They have a linen texture. I love the backs. And they have all the images. Now, it's not a tarot deck, it's a playing card deck, but there are, unlike a lot of other playing card decks with a theme that use the same image over and over or just use them for the courts, this has a different image on every single card. So it's not like they are necessarily connected or assigned to an archetype corresponding to that card, but I can read with this. I can translate playing cards into the minor arcana, combining the page and knight into a jack. So this kind of works for me and kind of satisfies the itch of having a deck with Tenniel images on it, until such a time that someone does an actual Alice tarot using his images. So that, while not being on the same shelf, I had to show that to you as a comparison. That one I'm keeping. This Kisses from Ibiza Tarot in Wonderland, I'm letting go. These are also kind of difficult to get back in these folding envelope boxes. Okay. Next one. Let me look. Like the images for art, but not a deck. Can't read it. I have the Shakespeare Tarot from that publisher, Majors Only. I like labels, but I don't like the cheat sheet notes on the cards. I guess that's cool if you're learning. I like the space to be all picture, no borders, no extra large numbers or words. Would like to start reading with majors just to separate out the minors, maybe to practice. You're talking about the Surrealist Tarot. It's a nice deck, but the paintings are not originals. That's, yeah, another one in there. It's horrendous. I like surrealism, but these are people that were inspired by surrealist painters and did their own thing, and they're not actual art. I was looking at the clay one by these guys, but the images didn't seem to fit the meanings. I'm on hunt for Etude Picard. I don't suppose that's one of your shells, Robin. No, never heard of it. Okay, so I soon got to go. Everybody have a great day. Robin, rewatch tonight. Thank you. Okay, Brianne, good night. So this one is the, what is this called? The Dream Visions Tarot. And this was reprinted. There's a second edition, I think. And this is not typically to my taste. The cards have, I don't really like the backs, but the backs were redesigned, as were some of the cards. I do like the labeling on this one. You know, and this one is Wands, and there's a number 9 on it. So I know what card that is. And I think most of them intuitively read or worked for me with the images. But it's very Grace Jones, I think. And it's very modern. It's very, the whole thing looks and feels kind of airbrushed imagery. And I like it. And I think this is one of those maybes that I don't reach for, but maybe I'm not quite ready to let it go out the door yet. So I'm going to hang on to this. I actually do prefer this to the second edition. And I believe, unless I'm wrong, that this one came with metallic edging, which I filed off with an emery board because I do not like metallic edging on paper cards. There are some exceptions, but generally speaking, I don't like metallic edging. If it's going to be edged and it's going to be edged by a manufacturer, I prefer matte edging. Anyway, that's the Dream Visions Tarot. It's staying for now. Some people prefer the second edition, but yeah. The Thoth Tarot deck. Had I waited, I would have got the Greenie reprint on MPC, but I now have 3 versions of this. The reason I have 3 versions is that I was watching a walkthrough on YouTube, and somebody had trimmed the borders off of this particular version of the deck. That was the original size and borders. And I'm not clear what this card even is, but I don't have it in the deck. I don't use it, so am I missing a card? I don't know. But they look so beautiful without the borders or borderless that I trimmed them and have my own. And this large size, when trimmed, still makes a decent sized deck. The problem is I did that before I really knew the deck. And so I mean, some of the pips are easy to figure out because you can count them. But some of the majors or quarts, I don't really know what they are because I didn't really study the deck before I trimmed the information off. So after this, I also bought a little mini version on MPC that was also trimmed, that was pretty, but very tiny, too tiny. And then I bought a third version that was like sort of playing card size with the labels on it. And that one came with a book that had images in it. So I have a book that will help me figure out what these cards are, should I want to learn them. But this is one of those decks that's not really, I'm not that keen on it, and I never use it. Some of the images like this I think are really beautiful and I like them, but it's not a deck that I reach for. So, and I have 3 versions. I could let this go. I don't know who would want a trimmed version, but yeah, I don't know. For now, I guess it's staying, unless someone says, oh, I want that trimmed version, in which case I might let it go. Let's see. Oops. Sorry, it must be. Oh, it's near 2. I have another tab open with Simon's channel on it, and the audio just started, so you've got a little bit of that. Oh, we've got 4 minutes left to try and show what I got here. This is another deck I'm keeping, and I love. I call it the Adam Fronteras Tarot. It is called the Tarot, the traditional tarot reinterpreted for the modern world. Came with a book, came in a weird box that had 2 sleeves, one for the book, one for the cards. The book is nice, got a lot of color illustrations in it, illustrations for each of the cards. It's a Rider-Waite-Smith deck. I love the card size. It's more like a Fournier card size. The backs you can't see probably, but there's little sunshiny face pattern in yellow on the backs. And this is very much like the what's the guy that did the weird coloring one in the early 70s? Can't think of the guy's name, but I like this better. Now, the only problem with this one, as much as I love the color palette on this, is that the images are cropped. And I mean, if you know the images well enough, I mean, I can read with it, but I mean, like Pixie's signature is cropped off here. There are some elements near the edge that were cropped, so you don't get the entire image, but you get, the better part of it, what you need to read pretty much. And I just kind of love this deck. Can't think of you might know the guy's name that I was talking about that did the weird coloring of the deck in around 1970 something. But I particularly love this coloring. I love the kind of ivory sort of background. And yeah, I love this. This isn't going anywhere. But I am trying to decide, should I get rid of the box? I think the only reason to keep the box is if I ever wanted to resell it. Albano, thank you, Zach. Yeah, the Frankie Albano? The Albano Waite Tarot. Yeah, if I ever decided to sell it, somebody might want the box for value's sake, but it's just taking up space. Should I keep it? Should I toss it? I'm never going to sell this deck. So I'm seriously considered tossing the box and keeping the deck. Haven't decided about the guidebook. Probably keep the guidebook. I think this is one actually where I ordered it online and they only sent the book without the cards, which I hated. And then I found another source that had the whole package, which I bought. But this is not a book I particularly use, but I guess it doesn't take up that much space. I don't generally kind of keep them together anyway, but yeah, I'm hanging on to that. 159. I have a couple other decks. You might already know the Ancient Italian Tarot. This is pretty close to the Soprafino that I got through the Antiqua series or whatever. It was kind of limited edition. And it's a beautiful kind of Italian deck. The backs are pretty. The fronts are beautiful Italian images. I love it, but I don't think I need it because the Soprafino images, I think, are the exact same, or maybe the line work is the same and the coloring is just slightly different. But I don't think I need them both. So I think I'm going to let this one go. I don't know if this is still in print or not. I assume so. The Ancient Italian Tarot from, is this U.S. Games or Lo Scarabeo? I think it's Lo Scarabeo, yeah. Keep that, says Golden. Oh, okay, then let it go. Yeah, I mean, the other version that I have, the Soprafino, is so much nicer, but I'm just going to keep that. I trade the ones no one would want to use, resale bookstore. Won't get much cash, but my store does store credits, which is more than cash they would give. Oh, that's interesting. Never toss the box, because if I do, I know I'm going to regret it. Put the box in the recycling. Yeah, so that one I'm letting go. Here's ones that somebody might want this. I'm mixed feelings about this. This is the tarot of Jacques Vivelle. People that are into collecting like vintage stuff. The novelty of this one was it's a majors only deck, but had something to do with how the copper plates or whatever were restored or held on to. And so there's a majors version in one direction, and then they redo the whole thing in the opposite direction. And there are a couple of very particularly interesting cards in here that I do like, that are slightly different than the usual Marseille deck. If they're coming up, what is that? The Hermit XI. I don't know which one that is. XI, isn't that Justice? I don't know. Oh, here's the Fool, and the Fool is standing rather than upside down. I think that's the way it's meant to be. Yeah, because of the label here. So anyway, I don't know that I need, interesting Devil. Oh, and this one. This is the one, instead of the tower, we've got this tree. Oh, and this one too, the star. We've got this astronomer or whatever. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. I never use it. I think I'm a little bit confused by the fact that we've got a backwards and forwards version printed, so you can kind of mix and match and make two decks out of it, make your own favorite version of the majors, and then an alternate version. I don't know. I think I'm going to let this go. If anybody's into that. I don't know if I showed you the backs. The backs are pretty. All of these, I do have walkthroughs on my channel if you dig back far enough. So that's going. And then the last two. Here's an example. This is Tarot of the World in Colors. This is a majors only. And it's by, I'm not sure who it's by. It came out in Switzerland. And I thought, a Keith Haring deck. I love it. But it turns out that it's somebody who just kind of took the style of Keith Haring and redid their own thing. And I thought, Keith Haring did a tarot deck. and it looks very much like his art. But I guess I just didn't read clearly enough before I bought the deck. And this is, I guess it says devoted to the art of Keith Haring. And I just thought that meant, oh, it's, in honor of him, they're printing his deck. But really, it's sort of like honoring his style by ripping it off and redoing their own art version or art vision of his drawings. So I'm not ready to let this go because it does remind me a lot of his coloring and his design, but I'm a little bit bitter about the fact that this isn't really Keith Haring stuff. I'll have to run some errands, try to watch the rest later. Thanks for the stream. And the last one is, this was by a friend of mine, Ted Veach. He did the Tarocchi di Marsiglia Colori Infinito. This is another majors only. And this one is just a majors only. Can you see the pattern? With a weird kind of recoloring of the images. Unusual palette, maybe not a favorite. It's kind of intriguing. I'll probably hold on to this, but it's not anything I reach for or use. Might be refreshing from time to time just to look at the cards and see the different colors, or I might pull this out at some point and do readings from it. I like to do majors only readings. So anyway, yeah. And there we have it. That is the shelf clear out for this week. So what I'm getting rid of is the Tarot de Viville, the Ancient Italian Tarot, the Tarot in Wonderland, the Surrealism Tarot, the Voice of Space Tarot, Pike and Clover. Somebody's going to be getting to me about that, I'm sure. The Tarocchi degli Gnomi. And I think that's it. So there you go. So I did manage to make a little bit of shelf space this week, so I feel good about that. And these are going into the bag to rehome. So I'm going to let you all go. I'm sure you're itching to get over to Simon's channel, and I will see you there in a bit. In the meantime, thanks for tuning in. I'm glad you're here. Glad you joined me. We'll tackle another shelf probably next week. Bye.